So much of the advice out there about building a business online assumes one thing: that you're willing to film your life, chase an algorithm, and show up every single day in a way that feels more like a performance than actual work. And I want to talk about what happens when that assumption is just wrong for you, because there is another way. And we're going to get into it today. Hi, I'm Trish, and this is Just a Number, the podcast for women 40 and up who are ready to stop waiting and start building from everything they already know. Part business, part unlearning, part confidence reset. Because you're not starting over, you're evolving with intention. We're talking lived experience, career wisdom, passions, and hard-earned perspective, turned into content, courses, and offers that actually help people. We're not here to play by the rules. Let's build boldly, teach what we know, and make it count. Welcome to Just a Number. Can we just say it? The version of building a business online that gets the most airtime right now looks a specific way. It's video, it's social media, and brand building. It's showing up every day and figuring out what the algorithm wants from you today versus what it wanted last week or maybe even 15 minutes ago. It's your face, your life, your morning routine, your hot takes, on camera, on repeat. And that, in and of itself, can become a full-time job. I'm not saying it doesn't work, because we all know it does for a lot of people. And some people are genuinely good at that. They enjoy it. It works for them. That's awesome. But somewhere along the line, it became the loudest way, the most visible way. And for a lot of people, it started to feel like the only way. It isn't. And look, to be fair, if you want to build an audience quickly, and who doesn't, showing up consistently on video, especially Reels, is probably one of the fastest ways to do it right now. If your content is engaging, the algorithm rewards it. The reach is real. That's not up for debate. But fast isn't the same as right for everyone. And a strategy that causes anxiety, or one that requires you to become someone you're not, isn't actually a strategy you're going to stick with. But there are so many women who hear that advice and instantly feel something close to dread. Not because you don't have something valuable to offer, and not because you aren't willing to do the work that's required, but because that version of visibility just doesn't match who you are, how you think, or how you want to spend your time. Instead, a lot of us just stall. I've definitely been there. Not only did I not have time to film all that content, I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to talk about my family, what I had for dinner last night, or my dogs. And on top of that, you have to come up with hooks, write scripts, figure out your location, your lighting, your audio. It's a whole production before you've said a single word about what you actually know. I wanted to be able to talk about what I bring to the table and how I help others. I wanted to connect in a different way, which is one of the reasons I started this show. There's a difference between not being ready and genuinely not wanting to build that way. And I think we need to talk about that difference more. You start to wonder if maybe you're not cut out for this. You watch people post reels several times per day and think, is that really what it takes? It's not. That's one model. It's loud, and it's everywhere right now. And it's convinced a lot of us that it's the only model. But there are other ways. And the women I'm thinking about when I record this show, women who have spent decades building real lived experiences, solving problems, doing the work, you deserve to know there's more than one way to build something. You don't have to conform to performance culture to create something meaningful and make real money from it. You don't have to walk around with a selfie stick and reverse engineer what the algorithm is rewarding this week just to build a business around what you know. There are ways to be out in the world, to be findable, to be valuable to the people who need you that don't require you to be on camera or on at all. Now, some women hear you don't have to do video and instantly think that means giving up on growing an audience altogether. That's not what I'm saying at all. You can absolutely build an audience without ever putting your face on camera, and you don't have to be on every platform every single day to do it. Let's talk about what that actually looks like, because I think once you see the full picture, it stops feeling like you're choosing between performance and invisibility. There's a lot of space between those two things. Take Substack, for example. If you haven't looked at it yet, it's essentially a newsletter platform with a built-in audience discovery feature. You write, people subscribe. They find you because Substack surfaces writers to readers who are already looking for content in your space. You're not chasing an algorithm or trying to game a feed. You show up when you have something worth saying, and the people who want to read it are right there. And a lot of writers and experts have built real paying subscriber bases on Substack without ever needing to be on Instagram. Threads is another one worth knowing about. It's text-based, no video required. You share ideas and respond to conversations, and you actually show up as a thinker rather than a performer. It moves differently than Instagram and TikTok. And for women who are naturally good with words and conversation, I think it can feel like a much more comfortable place to build presence. Pinterest is something a lot of people underestimate as a business tool. It's not social media in the traditional sense. It's a search engine like Google or YouTube. People go there looking for answers, ideas, and resources. So if you're writing articles, publishing blogs, or any kind of written content, Pinterest can drive consistent traffic to that content for months or even years after you created it. You pen something once and it keeps working. No daily posting, no trending audio, no face required. And then there's the hybrid approach, which honestly is where a lot of sustainable businesses live. Maybe you do show up on social occasionally, but on your terms and your schedule. You post when you have something to share, not because the algorithm is demanding it. You can also run ads to a specific audience, so you're not solely relying on organic reach to find the right people. You can build a Facebook group or an online community around a topic you know deeply, and people come to you. None of that is daily performance. None of that requires you to be filming your life. It's intentional, it's manageable, and it works. There are also things you can do where you don't have to show your face at all and can still build meaningful reach. Think of all the faceless reels and TikTok accounts you see. They're built around an area of expertise. They mainly use text on screen, graphics or images, and voiceover. Or think about a YouTube channel where you don't appear on camera but share genuinely useful content in your field. These are great for like software tutorials. Or a podcast, which is probably the most underrated quiet builder out there, where you're behind a mic, you don't have to be on camera, and episodes keep finding new listeners long after you recorded them. And beyond audience building entirely, there's real money in work that doesn't require visibility at all. Think about writing for other people and businesses, like ghostwriting, designing resumes, putting together portfolios, building websites, maybe handling the back-end work that other business owners don't have time for. You could offer services like programming or consulting. These are businesses where clients hire you for what you produce and what you know, not for how many followers you have or whether you went viral last week. The through line in all of this is that the work speaks. You're not performing a version of yourself to get someone's attention. You're creating something that holds value on its own, that gets found by the right people, that builds over time without requiring you to be perpetually visible. And that kind of presence, that's built on depth and craft and consistency. And it tends to last a lot longer than what gets built by creating what's trending. Showing up on video daily isn't just a time commitment, it's a creative and emotional one. It requires you to be on and expend a lot of energy. And for a lot of us, that cost is real. But when you build in a way that matches how you actually think, work, and communicate, you have a lot more to give. The work is better and being consistent is easier. You're not forcing yourself every single day just to stay visible. If you've been sitting on what you know, waiting until you feel ready to get in front of a camera, wondering if you'll ever get comfortable enough to finally start, remember this isn't the only door. There are a lot of other doors. You get to choose the one that fits how you work and how you want to show up in the world. What you know has value. The way you share it is yours to decide. I hope today's episode gave you a little more room to breathe and maybe helped you see a path you hadn't considered before. If you haven't already, please follow the show so you don't miss what's coming. I'll see you in the next episode.